Employees are losing confidence in the workplace at a pretty strong clip. According to Glassdoor, which if you're in the recruiting industry, you have a love-hate relationship if that with Glassdoor, they do something called the Employee Confidence Index, and it's dropping. So essentially, back in April, the employee confidence in the workplace was around 46%, and I think now that was April. So now in June, it's down to 44%. That doesn't sound like a lot, but let's reframe the language a little bit. This means only 44% of people within the workplace have confidence in that workplace. And what does that mean? That means that people are concerned about the economy, they're concerned about this environment, they're concerned about leadership. And that means that they feel unstable and possibly disengaged to the point where it's affecting work productivity in the workplace. And that's a huge problem. And I think this is the gateway to a larger conversation about leadership. So for me, I am noticing that leaders tend to, and this is a very general statement, this is not all leaders. Some leaders are out there making decisions that are very short-sighted. They see a shiny new toy called AI. They get excited about AI. They don't explain how they're going to use AI. They hear a mandate from a certain, political environment. They get scared. They are very reactive, right, in this current workplace environment. And you can't act that way for employees to feel secure that you know what you're doing. They are the ones who are directly impacted by the decisions that you make. And when employee confidence indexes are down, that means that they do not feel like their leaders are thinking of them long term. And this is a problem. And you think because it's a market where a lot of people are out of work. We're going to rephrase that in a second. So yes, a lot of people are out of work, but I don't know where I saw it. I think it was Forbes, where there's an article that talks about people are functionally unemployed, meaning companies have not been hiring in the same frequency that they used to. And I'm not talking about overhiring. I'm talking about literally just like hiring regularly like they have for decades. They've laid off a lot of people. They have not made up some of those jobs. Some of it's technology, some of it is poor planning, some of it is short-sightedness, some of it is fear of the economy. There's a lot of different things happening all at once. The one thing I will say is that nothing is permanent. When we were riding high and making it a candidate environment, it was great. Again, not permanent. When things are low, not permanent. So at some point the tide will turn and we're going to get these terrible think pieces about why employees and candidates are ghosting companies because they don't feel like those companies have their best interest. If you go back to this then Glassdoor employee confidence index. So what can we do? At the end of the day, I think leaders really need to take a step back and figure out how they're going to react to the different challenges within the context of the world, because this is what we mean when we say we can't leave work at work. People are impacted by the things that are happening around them in their lives, which then is at work. And that means policy, health policy. That means, how they're feeling when we think about immigration, when we think about women's rights, when we think about, systemic racism. Those are people in your company who are feeling the effects of that. And all around us, those things are kind of impacted among a bunch of other things. So I really think this is a time for leaders to figure out how best they're going to recalibrate and instill confidence in the workers that they have, or else they're going to find themselves at a talent deficit, which is never a good thing, especially if you have big plans for your business strategy.